Oogie Boogie Bash details are slowly seeping into the ether, and we are finding out that there are some extras coming to Disney California Adventure and the Halloween party on that end. Walt Disney World is experiencing some capacity growth, and there are big plans to expand capacity even further in the days ahead. And you tell me, is the Enchanted Tiki Room at Magic Kingdom Park worth your Disney vacation time? I mean, we talk all that and so much more, so you better stick around. I believe it is August the 14th, 2021, and Kingdom Report Live starts right now.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Taking a live look outside at the Disneyland Resort, all the way out to the Pixar Pal around and the Grizzly River Run right in the middle of all of that. What a great day in California to be able to perhaps jump on a raft and go whitewater rafting through the Grizzly River Run. No doubt that wait time is probably astronomical, but I digress. Hello, everybody. Wait for the Kingdom Report. Hanging out with you once again for an all-new Kingdom Report Live here in the beautiful Warner Brothers Studios Media District in Burbank, California, just around the corner from the Walt Disney Studios, just up the road from the Disneyland Resort. What an honor it is to be with you, and what an even greater honor it is to say thank you. Thank you so much, because last night we witnessed the tick-tocking of subscribers for the Kingdom Report YouTube channel venture into the 10,000 plus category. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for not only your viewership, but also if you are a subscriber of our Kingdom Report YouTube channel. It means so much to know that we mean enough to subscribe to. And on top of that, just a little over a year and a half ago, we started this whole idea, this concept of the Kingdom Report. And now 10,000 strong. We will see you at 20. But if you are someone who has never subscribed to the YouTube channel before, we do encourage you. Head on over, not only subscribe, but make sure that the notification bell is turned on so that you get updated every time we send new content your way. It's more than just the live show on Saturdays. We have new vlogs throughout the week from the theme parks themselves, as well as some of the best of the show, in which to share in more bite-sized parts. So definitely want to encourage you to head on over to the Kingdom Report on YouTube and subscribe if you are not already. And if you're watching this on Facebook Live or on our YouTube channel, we do encourage you to also hit that thumbs up button. Make sure the whole world knows that there is a party going on in here, they are invited, and that you are already participating in said party, what with the confetti and the balloons and the sparkling cider. No alcohol allowed. It's a Disney event. I apologize, but maybe next time. It's a little too early for that. I suppose it's 5 o'clock somewhere. At any rate, we appreciate you taking time out of your day to be with us. And you deserve to be rewarded if you are a frequent watcher of this program. If you are somebody that listens to this program, all you got to do to win yourself your very own Kingdom Report mug is head on over to our comment section on our YouTube video. So the Kingdom Report on YouTube, beneath this very video, as soon as it posts after the live broadcast, leave a comment underneath our video with the phrase that pays this week's. And this week, and the phrase that pays is Disney Parks Magic. Once again, Disney Parks Magic is the phrase that pays for this week. All you got to do, leave that comment underneath our YouTube video between now and 8 a.m. on Monday, so 8 a.m. Pacific time on Monday, the 16th. If you leave your comment of Disney Parks Magic between now and then, you are entered to win a Kingdom Report mug. We will reach out to you if you are the winner, so we want to make sure that you understand that is how you win. Leave that comment, and we will select at random one very special viewer to get themselves their very own Kingdom Report mug. Well, here today to not only help celebrate the 10,000 mark, but also to give their trusted theme park perspective. It is Katrina Manzone and Tyler Crouch. Hey, gang.
Hi. Yeah, 10,000.
10,000.
Oh,
Wow.
I
Can't even
didn't
believe
have
it.
my glitter. I was just like done like a glitter bomb or something. Oh, phew.
you know what? Next week, I
Next week I'll
expect
do it.
twice the amount of glitter.
Yes,
How
that's
about
right.
that?
Interest.
Yeah.
That's right.
As long as it doesn't happen in my car. Glitter is like the
No,
worst
it's gonna
thing.
happen here, and
It'll
then I'm
happen
gonna
right in the
leave.
studio, and then
Yeah.
we'll get out of here, and Tony will love us forever.
That's
Yeah.
right.
It'll be like Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. Glitter never goes away.
There's a
It'll
whole
just keep-
custodial team here, I know, that will help out with
Yeah,
that. So,
for sure.
Glitter, confetti. We'll have a balloon drop.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes.
It'll
Okay.
It'll
great.
be fantastic. You'll love it. Yeah.
And then
So
I'll throw
stay
a cake in
tuned.
your face. Be like 10,000.
Oh! And that'll be my reaction. It'll be so perfect.
Oh my God, that's great.
Well, we have a lot to talk about in terms of Disneyland and Disney World news this week, so we won't waste any more time. We will dive right into it. It's Disneyland News Time. Disneyland News Time. All of the headlines coming out of the West Coast. Happiest place on earth, Disneyland Park. And today we begin with news of some big money being made. Disney Parks and Resorts have announced that their revenue is up $1 billion over last quarter. First profits that they are seeing since the pandemic began. In fact, Deadline Hollywood is reporting that the parks posted an operating profit of $365 million for the fiscal third quarter ending in June from a loss of close to $1.9 billion the year earlier. Revenue jumped to $4.3 billion from just over $1 billion. Per capita spending is way up, and parks are pretty much at capacity, and reservations are strong. They're at their restricted capacity is what they mean. Quote, when a park is closed for a long time, as Disneyland was and Paris was, once they open, per capitas shoot up, said CFO Christine McCarthy. She's expecting to have the parks fully staffed up by the end of 2021. That's fantastic news. I know that with all of this sudden burst of income and Disney getting back on track financially, hopefully, Tyler, this is an indication that we will see not only staffing tick up, but we will also see quality go back to the same levels that it was when we were back in, say, 2019 and paying the exact same rates that we were then that we are now. So hopefully we will see things change for the better. As we know, things are good again for the sake of parks and resorts.
I definitely hope so. I mean, that's some wishful thinking right there, Wade. I love you for that. That's for sure.
Trying to be optimistic.
Yeah. They have missed out on income for so long now that unfortunately I kind of see them continuing to raise prices on a lot of things. But it is great news that they're doing well. And like you said, I want them to up the staffing. And I know it's hard to find people who are willing to work in a lot of situations these days. It's not just Disney, it's everybody. But let's keep on going. I just hope that, when they're successful, we get the best of them, and that's the important thing. So I also hope that Universal continues to be very successful too, because competition makes better things for all of us. And so it's good news. Let's keep it going. I'm stoked.
Anything, Katrina, you're hoping to see be improved upon now that Disney not only is getting things back on track, but is financially successful again?
Oh man, I mean the biggest thing that I've always had like the issue is since they've done this, like since they started cutting back, and I get it with safety and security and stuff with COVID, is the hotels. They've really lacked in the amenities that you would normally get if you're like, and the prices haven't changed. They've actually increased. So prices have increased and what they've given you has gone down. So I'm hoping that room service comes back, because that's like the coolest thing about staying at a hotel is, you're kind of like out of that element and you're like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to chill in my robe, in my bed, pick up my phone, dial the phone, and ask for, my American breakfast, because that's like the thing that you get. I don't know. And like a mimosa maybe if
That's
I
the
feel
thing you
like
get.
it's a thing you get. And he gets Eggs Benedict if you want to know. He's
Oh.
an Eggs Benny person.
All right.
Anyway,
It's true.
but it's just like one of those things that's always like a fun, you just relax. You slowly pack or whatever, but they don't have that anymore. The room service is out the window. You have to go downstairs and go get it. and then, you have to wait in that line. It's like not what I want to deal with in the morning sometimes. Sometimes I just want my cup of coffee and then just like decompress and get ready for the day.
Right.
And then also the daily cleanings. Like that was always the fun part of going to a hotel, is like you have that nice, bed that's clean and made and stuff. And yeah, that sounds like a little selfish, I guess, of me to say, but that's what you're paying for a hotel. And they're not giving that service for what I'm going to say like $800 to stay at the Grand Californian is ridiculous.
Yep.
For not being able to get room. So even if you don't get room service, it's still an option, right? And then you don't even have that option anymore. You have to go downstairs and have like a mediocre breakfast, and deal with everybody and like a huge line to get breakfast. So it's not cool. So I'm hoping that with the more people that they hire back, they're able to actually give what you're paying for. And then, hey, but I'm excited they gave me back lids for around the parks. Like they started cutting that back right before 2020 even hit, because they wanted to like, reduce plastic waste and stuff. And now they're just throwing out lids here and there. And I'm kind of actually happy about it. So that's one positive thing that we got out of this. But yeah, the hotels are like the biggest thing that I'm really hoping that they're going to actually like keep up. They're slowly adding restaurants in Disney World, but in Disneyland, I'm really hoping that they start doing that more now.
We often hear that, you pay a premium for the Disney experience. You should expect a premium experience because that's what you're paying for. So oftentimes, too, we see even in our various blogs and our reviews of things that we'll get comments from individuals that'll be like, why would you give them a pass on not getting the full experience? For example, recently, there was a dining review that I did of Cafe Orleans at Disneyland Park, and the experience was less than pleasant, mainly because they clearly had a plate on standby, and so as soon as I got my appetizer, there was somebody hovering around me, watching, and I looked at him and I said, "Is everything okay?" And he was like, I don't want to rush you, but your entree's ready."
And give it to somebody else.
And I said, "Okay." And
Plan
he goes,
better.
Can I bring that to you?" And I said, "Yeah, I guess so, sure." So he brings me the entree, and it was so hot that I was like, did this just come out of a microwave? Like, what? Why is this so hot? And where did it just come from? And like, why was it standing by within moments of me ordering it? And, it just became clear that I know Disney parks, being what they are and doing what they do, they serve tens of thousands of people a day in these restaurants and in these locations. The menus have shrunk. The offerings have shrunk to try and keep up with the phased reopening demand. And, to a certain degree, Cafe Orleans, for example, underground, they have one major kitchen that serves all the restaurants above. And I know that for the sake of physical distancing and for the sake of health and safety, they've tried to space everybody out, and they've tried to be as methodical with the way that they prepare things as possible. And that comes down to, that's why they only offer, 2 or 3 things per menu. And, they keep everything scaled down so much. But that also means that they probably have mass prepared a bunch of stuff to be sitting there up on the top floor.
And how
for the
much are you
sake of
paying
being
for
able to
this
grab.
entree?
And it's
very
expensive. Yeah, and
they,
and I
jack
was
up their
rushed
rate and
out.
reduced your, and that's like the hardest part, right? They jack up their rate, they reduce what you get, and I get it. It's really cool. They added fries with the with the Monte Cristo, so now you get like the best of both worlds. But now you're paying more. Like
Right.
you actually could get one Monte Cristo share it and fries for like the same price, and you get double the food back in 2019.
Yeah.
And it's just a bummer. Like they were really good at pumping out the Monte Cristos over at Smoke Jumpers, in the beginning of the year when they reopened again. And I'm sad that they kind of didn't keep it.
The Trattoria prior to the parade, and then head over to a reserved standing viewing area to witness the magic and mayhem of the frightfully fun parade during Oogie Boogie Bash party nights. Wine Country Trattoria Oogie Boogie Bash parade dining is available for lunch and dinner on party dates during the mix-in party time, and the children's meal includes an Oogie Boogie popcorn bucket, also available for adults for an additional charge. Reservations for dining at the restaurant can be made for Wine Country Trattoria on any date of the Oogie Boogie Bash, subject to availability. Upon arrival, let the host know that you want to upgrade to this dining experience, which is subject to availability and must be made in person. And then the Sonoma Terrace Oogie Boogie Bash dessert party is also an option that you get to choose from. Sweeten your night at the Sonoma Terrace Oogie Boogie Bash dessert party with some terrifyingly terrific Halloween treats, along with reserved viewing of Frightfully Fun Parade. With this package, feast on an impressive selection of hauntingly scrumptious desserts and beverages, they say. Sonoma Terrace Oogie Boogie Bash dessert party is available twice per night beginning at 7 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. during party nights. Children ages 2 and under may attend free of charge, provided they are seated on the lap of an adult. Advance reservations are recommended and can be booked online up to 60 days prior to your visit at disneyland.com/dining. So cool to hear that a dessert package and a dining package are going to be attached to what we have here at California Adventure with the Oogie Boogie Bash. I know that in the past I've done dessert parties out at Walt Disney World for like fireworks shows and stuff like that. I've always been quite satisfied. It is quite an upcharge in most of these categories, so we always like to definitely mention not only are you paying for the ticket for the private party in this instance, but you're also paying for another upcharge on top of that. So definitely something that you're not required to do. And yes, it is expensive, but I've always had fun when I've done it out east. I've never done it out here though.
Oh, we've done it for World of Color. I think that was always like a fun kind of like splurge, like once a year or so, because you have like a nice seat, you have like low seats, high seats, and then you don't have to worry about standing in line and trying to get that that right angle and someone standing in front of you. It's just kind of, you just walk in, sit down, they hand you a couple drinks, you have your little dessert tray, and then you just watch the show in peace. You don't have to worry about anything. And we've done it in Disney World a couple times too. We've done like different ones, and we've always loved them because it's expensive, but for our minds, with the hassle of like for like the Happily Ever After show, when it first came out, we did the dessert party, and honestly that was the easiest thing we could ever do. Instead of waiting for like the right angle for 4 hours to have like then someone coming in front of you putting a kid on their shoulders, and then I'm like, I can't see, so and then just paying for it, and then you get like fun desserts, and then you can just chillax for a couple hours, and then eat and enjoy your day, and then you watch the fireworks, and you're like, yes, a
little bit of fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Like we did it for oh my gosh, my mind just went blank. For the Spectacle of Lights, we did that one
for the last year. That was
the
really
very
cool.
last year, and so we just had our own like little dessert area.
How fun!
Oh yeah, I haven't done it for like the Oogie Boogie Bash, but we've done it for World of Color, and I always recommend it to people if they just don't want to stand in line to try to get, or like to get the fast passes back in the day when they used to have them, and you had to get like the World of Color tickets, and you're with like a party and you get separated, and then you have to like that's your time to like go in and like stand there. Anyway, whatever. It's like, it's a lot of hassle. So if you want to pay like an extra like $100 and not deal with it and get dessert, it's a win-win.
I mean, it's a nice plus when you get dessert.
And kids get like cool little things like the World of Color. They got like a really cool like cup. You technically paid for anyway. Yeah. And like the Oogie Boogie Bash, you get like a cool popcorn thing for like the kids for like the dessert party, I think.
Extra special.
I mean, it seems very small, but for a child, it seems like a really big gift. You know. So yeah.
Yeah, and especially when you don't want to have to, you're right, fight the crowds, and you don't want to have to, spend so much of your evening at a private party where you want to be out experiencing all those extra special things. You don't want to spend an hour trying to block out a space just to see the parade. You can just walk right up because you did your dining package.
Yeah. I just wish for me two things, actually. There's two things I wish. I'm going to be a negative Nancy. First of all, they're closing my Sonoma Terrace. Where am I supposed to get a beverage at night?
Oh, I'm sure there won't be anywhere else.
So that's my first thing. The second thing is, I mean, unfortunately, I feel like the Trattoria is like one of the worst restaurants on property.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of bummed out by like the food choice, because I would have kind of preferred like if it was like a Carthay or, I don't know. I guess that's really the only two choices, right? Or I guess even like Lamplight Lounge I would have preferred. But still cool. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, it's still, it's like everybody's been saying, I think it's actually a really great offer overall. I mean, I guess we'll see how they didn't release the price quite yet, right? I
didn't see it.
Yeah, for the dessert party, but it sounds like the Trattoria might actually be the better thing to do, because I bet you, like, for what you get for the food and everything, the price is gonna be more manageable.
But
I would
that
expect.
one is standing room only, so you'll get a ticket for a standing room only area. But I don't know about the dessert party. Is that because it says there's like 2 seatings?
Mm-hmm.
So are there going to be 2 parades?
There usually is, yeah. So
they're actually going to do a parade?
because
Yeah, they're gonna be doing a
if I
parade, yeah.
recall, they
2?
usually do the one direction, one the next,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, so that they can try and split up the demand throughout
In
the
my
night.
mind, I thought because they're cutting everything back, they're probably going to just do one, and you'll be lucky if you even see it.
Hey, just to have a parade is a nice
yeah,
plus
so
right now.
I think the dessert party it's not going to be standing room because you'll do one at 7, you eat your dessert, and then you watch the parade from sitting down, and then the next one 9:30 they're going to come the other way,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to be sit down. But if you do the dinner, you have stand up. So it depends on what you want.
Yep.
Do you want 3-course meal? Do you want dessert? When you get seats and sit.
I'd say go for the dessert, but
That's
that's
what
just
I would
me.
say too.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about anything because they make sure like no one, because they did this like before too for the first Oogie Boogie Bash. They had that area, and like those cast members, when people were like trying to like huddle underneath because people would like jump down to like watch it, they would like tell you to get away from like that area because these people paid for it.
This is protected.
So they're like, get out of the way, they paid for this.
Protected zone.
And I was like, yeah, cast members, you do this.
And speaking of cast members, we've got some great news coming out of the Orange County Register. Brady McDonald is reporting that Disneyland has brought back 3/5 of its workforce since the coronavirus closure, while cast member unions continue to push the Anaheim theme parks to rehire thousands more that were furloughed or laid off during the pandemic. The Disneyland Resort has 19,000 cast members currently working and continues to rehire furloughed and laid off cast members, according to the latest Mouse Mail newsletter. And the Disneyland Resort is proud, this is a quote, to have returned more than 19,000 cast members and is rapidly hiring hundreds more each week, according to the Disney newsletter. That's 4,000 more Disneyland employees than the 15,000 that worked at the resort in June, but still 13,000 fewer cast members than the 32,000 employed by Disneyland prior to the pandemic. The 19,000 current Disneyland employees represent nearly 60% of the pre-pandemic workforce, with more returning to work each week as additional attractions, restaurants, and shops reopen as part of a phased reopening of the parks. Around 2,500 Disneyland cast members who had been furloughed or laid off last year returned to work in July, according to Disney officials. Disneyland has offered to rehire 85% of the cast members who were laid off or furloughed, Disney officials said. This is wonderful to hear that these strides are being made by the thousands, month to month. Like, this is how it should be. This is really cool to hear. I know a lot of things are reopening step by step, and we're hearing all kinds of things week to week. I mean, we reported here where dining is suddenly jumping, and suddenly we're getting all these clusters of restaurants back, and all of these characters are returning, and
The
all
spa's
these
now
things.
back.
The spot, the Grand Californian, is returning, and all of these elements are being added back into the mix, which obviously requires employees to come back and cast members to return. I don't know. What do you think, Tyler? Will we be back near the original number before the end of 2021?
Before the
Speculation?
end of 2021?
Yeah.
Probably not. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. They're just such a slow machine. Like they're just Disney is like a huge, massive, lumbering beast. Like that's, like that's what it is, and it just takes them time to do these things. And I also think that unfortunately they've kind of missed the boat with some of the cast members who don't want to come back in any capacity at this point. And I think that like COVID kind of opened a lot of people's eyes to what they feel like they should be able to get out of a workplace. And I feel like Disney doesn't always strive to meet that. I don't know how else to say it. Like they're a great company overall, I think, but they're hard to work for some people. Some people love it. A lot of people don't love it. So it's just not the thing that everybody's super excited to get back to. Especially with like all of the different kind of issues that they're working through right now. And I know that a lot of guests get upset because they've made a reservation for a day and they need to get the most out of their time and all these different things. So all these cast members at the front lines who have to like, kind of help people feel better about their vacation, enforce masks, all these different things. It's just, it's a lot of things that cast members didn't really sign up for at this point. So I just don't think we're going to be back to that same number by the end of 2021, but it'll probably get there. They've got a lot. They're spinning like 1,000 plates, and they're doing what they can. So I think we'll be back there, but not by the end of 2021.
And it'll certainly be great, Katrina, to have all of the poor cast members that have returned that have been a bit overwhelmed with the demand that's been going on finally get some support, finally get some additional help in these places.
I think it's great. I mean, I'm sure the working cast members are going to have a little bit less stress on their shoulders when there's more backup ready to go, when like if they have to take a day off or whatever have you. Work the longer hours. I'm sure some of the cast members are going to be sad because they probably really liked it. But I think it's a fantastic thing to get more and more people back. That means more things could possibly happen for the guests. Right now we have limited numbers on the menus, like you said. So if there's more people back into restaurants, we're going to be able to get more of things back on the menu. Certain restaurants have, certain hours, that they're open, like dinners only. Maybe they can start pushing towards lunch, and what have you. So I'm really excited that things are coming back. It's just moving up from here. I don't know if they're going to be fully staffed by the end of the year, but I want to say it's going to be high numbers though, for sure, in like the 80s or something. So I'm excited. So now Grand Californian is now a spa again. That's great. That's what I was looking forward to. Yep. So that's like a huge movement, right? Because I have to hire like all this staff for it too. So that's a positive move. So I'm excited.
It's going to be great to see so many cast members return, so many friendly faces come back to the happiest place on earth. You do make the magic. I think we say that all the time around here because it is the truth. We've missed you. We hope that you come back if that is what you so choose. It'll be great to have you return to the original Magic Kingdom. My friends, are you going to the Oogie Boogie Bash? First of all, leave that in our comments section. And on top of that, have you ever done a dining package before for anything at the Disneyland Resort? And do you plan on doing the dining package or dessert package for Oogie Boogie Bash if you are attending? We'd love to know what your plans are for this Halloween season. All right, you stick around. We got some Walt Disney World news after the break.
Do you know everything the ghost host is going to say before he says it? Are you ready to thank the Venetians each time you board Spaceship Earth? Can you recite Walt's opening day dedication speech? Then join the Kingdom team today, the influential Legacy fan community featuring exclusive merchandise that will alert all who've come to this happy place that you are more than just another guest. You are a trusted theme park fan. Don't miss out. Join the Kingdom team right now by visiting the homepage at kingdomreportlive.com. That's kingdomreportlive.com. And now, back to the magic.
Walt Disney World News Time with Gared Hassel of Gared on the Go. Somewhere for us in Walt Disney World, somewhere for us in the theme parks. Where are you at today, friend?
Well, it's a very drizzly day here at the Magic Kingdom. I'm right in front of Splash Mountain.
So
and
drizzly.
If anyone has ever questioned if my section is live, it's raining. It's raining. I'm doing this show. So no one can ever question if I don't.
It's pre-recorded. It always rains in Florida.
It's pre-recorded. Somehow we figure out these conversations. But yeah, here in front of Splash Mountain, it's raining. People are on it. You're already wet. So why not? But we're having a zippity-doo-dah day out here in Orlando.
Well, how fun. And I know Tropical Storm Fred is making way for Central Florida right now. And certainly
Elsa was a little nicer.
Elsa was a little nicer. Yeah, certainly bringing some rings of rain your direction. I know that that's always an issue whenever these tropical storms are nearing the Central Florida area. But we so appreciate you being out there in the elements, roughing it, as they say. But we've got some great news coming out of Walt Disney World this week. Some very exciting announcements going on, especially as we march towards the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World. Something we've been waiting to hear about for like the last 2 years. Tell everybody what's happening.
We are going to space, people. Epcot's Space 220 restaurant has finally gotten an opening date. It's going to be opening in September. And for those that may not know what this is, next to Mission Space, there is going to be a restaurant where you will hop on board an elevator and you will launch 220 miles above Earth's surface. Not launch, but take an elevator up there where you will see Epcot fade away in the distance as you enter the outer atmosphere or literal outer space above Epcot. And here you will get to walk around the Centauri space station, and you'll get some glamorous shots of outer space. You'll get to eat in the space station, and you're in for a treat. They're going to have quite the dining package from what it looks like, where they'll have a 2-option prefix lunch and a 3-option prefix dinner. So just know that it could be a little costly. Right now, one restaurant I know that has a prefix lunch and dinner is Be Our Guest, where it's sometimes $62 per person. So just know it might be a little expensive. But other than that, there's going to be wine, atmospheric cocktails. Get it? Atmosphere.
In the atmosphere.
Joke.
Boom.
But yeah, Imagineering, Zach has shown us what's going on in there, and it looks quite incredible. The interior decorations just look amazing. It looks like what every space-themed attraction Disney has should look like, but it looks amazing. I am looking forward to it, especially after 2 years. I'm pretty sure one of my first vlogs was me going around and be like, they're building something back there. And then it's like, we're waiting for it. And they're like, the executive chef quit. And then it was, okay, the executive chef quit. We're like, we're moving on, but not really. So,
and now they're hiring a pastry chef. I remember that being an incident.
Yes. So Salvation is coming to the land of Epcot, where you can experience this out of the world adventure, quite literally. But I'm pumped for it. Who doesn't want to eat 220 miles above Earth?
Yeah.
But you got to take an elevator up there. It's not Tower of Terror. You will not drop 220 miles. You get a nice gentle rise and a nice gentle descent.
Hey, if Jeff Bezos can do it, so can we.
Amen.
What does he have that we don't, other than billions of dollars, a very successful company, and no hair?
Yeah, I guess we all have hair.
I think we beat him on the hair thing, actually.
Yeah, lucky us.
Oh, yes, we do. Katrina, work your mane, girl.
Yeah, boy.
Damn.
That was too much for me.
Well, and let's go ahead and run the video again, just to show everybody that's watching with us on Facebook Live as well as YouTube exactly what Disney Parks over on TikTok decided to share with everyone in terms of what things look like inside this new restaurant. Very spacious, very much not to harp on the fact that it's in space, but very spacious, very much a futuristic looking atmosphere. I mean, I feel like they nailed it in terms of the concept art coming to life. Sometimes concept art Disney proposes years in advance does not necessarily ever match up to what we see in person, or doesn't come close in certain aspects. This feels like it's very close to what we were seeing, which is great. I mean, this place looks like a location I would absolutely book a reservation in.
Is it just me, or like when you see this footage, do you just like think of zoom, 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 make my heart go boom, boom, and like you think Xenon's gonna like walk out any moment, and you're like, yes, this is the moment. No,
not me.
I do now.
I want to dress like Xenon when I go here.
That song in the background. I want Xenon music in the background, and no one's gonna know except for us Disney Channel kids.
No one's gonna understand like the kids from like the 1997s and stuff and above. They won't know what this song meant to me.
Total heartbreak.
But anyway, I'm really excited for this though. I'm waiting for like astronaut Mickey to like start floating. In like. I don't know how they're going to do it, but it'd be really great.
Come by on the window.
Yeah, they have like some like fish wire, and he's like gliding him along, and he's like, hello.
all the art.
Stitch to show
or Stitch. I want to see Pluto like trying to like, swim out in space, and then you see these like little yellow crystals.
Oh, yeah. Yes, please.
Float,
no, I know. She's referencing a Mickey
cartoon.
cartoon.
It's from a cartoon, you guys. Gosh.
Whatever.
Get with it.
The new Mickey cartoons rock. I love them.
Oh no, they're great. They're great.
I want someone to moonwalk outside, even though it's not on the moon, but someone needs to moonwalk out there. I'm thinking Powerline.
Oh,
there you go.
Man.
Yeah,
concert in space.
Come on, Patina Group. Let's get this together.
Wow.
We got this.
Only took you 2 years to find a pastry chef. How long could it take to find a guy that moonwalks?
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no coronavirus in space, so what's the deal?
We don't have to worry about it there.
That's true.
Blast off. Can't wait to see. Hopefully the food matches up with the ambiance. I think that's always the fear that we have is like, the food's going to fall flat and the environment's going to be spectacular. So then we put up with subpar food in a great environment. It's got to be good. You're right. Maybe they'll have astronaut ice cream.
Ooh. I liked Be Our Guest. I mean, their food is okay. Their lunch is like meh. But I don't like now they're doing prefix over there. I used to like the a la carte menu.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then their dinner, I mean, I miss their a la carte, but their prefix is actually not that bad. And you actually get a lot of food for what it is. And like the steak was actually pretty decent for what it was. It's just very expensive.
Yeah.
Like that's what it is. And now I'm sure the Space 220 is going to be like probably like $100 for dinner.
Yeah,
you
know
know,
this
it's
place
like
will be in demand.
high end, you know.
This place is run by Landry's, right?
No,
Yeah.
Patina.
Oh,
Patina, yeah,
They
yeah,
own
right.
all of Disney pretty much.
Patina, which
true.
makes me think actually that it won't be quite as like
gonna be like-
I hate to say it, but like Blue Bayou, for example, and then we were just saying Be Our Guest, like they have kind of become like banquet restaurants, and a lot like you were saying with Cafe Orleans, where it's just like they have like a few things that they just prepare on a conveyor belt and they pump it out. And the fact that Patina owns this makes me think that maybe it won't be quite like that. At least I hope so.
That would be, wonderful if this ends up matching the level of detail and experience that certainly comes along with the restaurant itself, if the food could match up with that. So we'll cross our fingers and hold out our judgment for that time where we can try it ourselves. But Gared, you are in front of Splash Mountain, and this past week we've heard from some Disney leadership about the progress of the whole Splash Mountain overhaul. Isn't that right?
Yes, that is true. So a while ago, we got the word that Splash Mountain was going to be converted into a Princess and the Frog attraction. Well, this past week, Magic Kingdom's Vice President Melissa Valaquette spoke about the transformation, and it looks like it's going to take some time before we actually see this creation come to life. She said that while they are very excited about this, it does take months, if not years, before you can turn something like this into an actual concept. But she has said that there has been advancements in how they're going to be doing musical selections around audio animatronics, and that it's going to have an inspiring story. A lot of people are like a little nervous, but she says that guests will continue to put their trust into the creators behind this as they've done in the past, and that her team and the Imagineers will do everything they can to not let the guests down. Because sometimes when you hear like a transformation such as Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, people are like, why are you getting rid of it? But sometimes you got to trust the process and know that the Imagineers are doing all they can and they want to do a good job. They're not going to do it just for the sake of, we're going to ruin a childhood memory, let's do that. No, they want to make it bigger and better than it was before. And Princess and the Frog is such an underrated film. The music score is phenomenal. The characters are lively. Give me some Lewis in there. Give me some, Dr. Facilier busting out some voodoo moves, and we're going to have a good time. But there has been no date yet as to when this is going to happen. We got the news of June 25th, 2020 about the transformation, but we haven't seen any additional concept art or announcement. So hearing something now at least gives hope, and at least, will satisfy our hunger for now. It's a little tease. So hopefully in the next year, maybe at the, the D23 destination, so you can get some more concept art or get some big news as to when the transformation might come. But Splash Mountain, you beautiful thing. I love you. But Tiana, give me some beignets and I'll love you more.
Very good. Yeah, I think I've shared before originally when we were talking about this news and this whole concept of them overhauling the story and trying to make it more Princess and the Frog based. I believe I said the words like we don't do it just to do it. If you're going to do it, go big, go spectacular, and it better be so much better than what's there now. I feel like I said the same thing about the Jungle Cruise. Don't half-ass this. Get in, do something spectacular, impress everybody. I think we've also said too, in the original version of this news when we first heard the announcement that changes were coming, was that Princess and the Frog and Tiana and that whole story deserve something spectacular. You better, it's unfortunate that it has to be a retheme of something and not something brand new dedicated to her. But if it's going to be a retheme, blow it out of the splashing water, if you will, Katrina.
Got him.
I'm sad that I feel like they just like quickly threw out the news and they really didn't have a plan.
Yeah.
In my mind, like
No,
I think
they didn't.
They just were like, okay, draft something up and just throw it out in the news because we need to be in the press, you know. And I was like, okay, like, what?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. But like again, like you better not half-ass this. If you're gonna throw this out, then you need to do it. But everybody was like, oh, they're gonna close it down by the end of this year and start rehauling it. And I'm sure I'm sure like now everybody's like fighting with one another with the Imagineers and stuff, because I'm sure the Imagineers are like, if you want us to do this, we're gonna do it right. Like we're
Better
not
give us
gonna
the budget.
we're not gonna throw a screen up and then have a recording as you like float by. You know, we're gonna try to get animatronics or something, right? Like
We're not doing another Galaxy's Edge.
No.
like
No, please.
Don't get us started, Gared.
I know. I want them to do it well. So I'm glad that they are, that they actually came out now saying like, oh, it's going to take a little longer than we thought because we need to
invest
go
the
to the
time.
drawing board and get this done right, because I mean, she deserves to be like a really cool animatronic even if it's just like one in the end. Like
No,
to
it
have like
needs
a
more
good
than
one,
that to me.
but to have like, but there needs to be like other characters along the way.
Or maybe have her as a frog the entire time, and
Right.
then you see her at the end.
yeah, like
I mean, sure.
transform or something.
I just think for me, like, because like the cool thing about Splash Mountain to me is how many animated figures there are, and if you're gonna rip it all out and not put other animated figures in, then
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like you need to have like at least one good Tiana and like other like little figures around.
I know what
her.
you're saying. I'm
okay.
saying there needs to be more than one good Tiana. Like for me,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Like for me to consider it like a really successful thing, it needs to be like all animated figures all throughout.
He wants to be wowed.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do.
Wow
I
the
really
man's
do.
pants off.
I want Disney
Please.
to invite him and have him like recorded the whole time as he goes through, and he's like just like this stern face at the end. Then in the end, he goes, "Wow,
Oh,
that was
Oh,
good."
wow.
And I'm like, that means something.
No, I just again, one of the things that I love about Splash Mountain is the amazing amount of animated figures, and if they cut down on that, then I think they're doing that e-ticket attraction a disservice, because it really needs to be spectacular, especially like think about the end with the riverboat with every animal singing on there, and
right.
I mean, they need to blow it out of the water. It needs to be something spectacular, and like we were all talking about, it's clear now that the only reason they even came out with this news is because we were kind of in the midst of Black Lives Matter, and it was one of those things where we got to say something about this. But I'm glad they're taking their time, taking the steps, doing it right, because it, like we've all said, it needs to be mind-blowing. And this, not only does this attraction deserve it, but also the movie itself deserves it, because as Gared said, it is super underrated. The music is fantastic. I just think this has every opportunity to be a lot like Frozen Ever After in Epcot.
But like times 20.
Yeah,
like,
but
a
even on
lot.
a more epic scale, because I mean it's going to be one of those things where I think the majority of the ride is going to be like, okay, now you're going to hear this song, now you're going to hear this song, now you're going to hear this song, and I'm there for that. Bring it,
I
bring
want
it.
new songs though. Like I want them.
An
I don't
original?
want them to regurgitate like. I want them to have like songs from the movie, but I also want them to have like a cool new one to make it something different, because it's supposed to be
tune.
right, because like they're trying to do a continuation. That's what they said from like the original movie, right? They're not like regurgitating the story like they did Frozen Ever After. So like I want
guess
them to
you're right, they
create
did
like
say
a
that.
new awesome song where it's gonna get stuck in your head and you want to buy that song. I don't want to hear like Let It Go for like the 20th time on the ride. Like.
Well, I hope they're not going to sing
Well,
Let It Go
I mean,
on that
you know
ride.
what I mean. Like they just like they keep like doing that for like Frozen Ever After, and I'm just like, I
Sure.
get it. I don't want them. I want them to be. I mean, if they're going hardcore on this, I want them to create like all new music, and then have a little like have some like in the beginning, like if they're trying to retell the tale, but then you're going on a new adventure or something. You can play this like the songs from the movie in the beginning, but give me something. I want new music.
You had some thoughts on
Yeah.
that, Gared?
Yeah, one last thing. We've seen what Imaginary can do when they put their heart and soul and have pretty much no roadblocks. When you look at Tokyo, Disneyland's BR, like, Beauty and the Beast, like the audio animatronics need to be that level of quality, not the Frozen quality where it's like a shell and then you have like some animated face. Like it needs to be like the quality of that attraction where Belle, you can actually see like the rosiness of her cheek. You can see the depth and dimension of the entire frame. Like you need to do that for Tiana, Naveen, everyone, because you can't like cheap out like we said, but the quality needs to be that high. So, Japan Imagineers, come out here just for a few days. We won't pay you as much because Japan spends way too much. But come out here, make it work. We'd love that.
Make it work. Hey, and speaking of making things work, we know that Walt Disney World has been back in action since last July and has slowly started to measured approach by the end of the year to hit that full capacity limit. I'm almost wondering if, number one, everybody's going to be comfortable with that before the end of the year, because we continue to hear of all these ridiculous variants and all these things that continue to come out that are a problem, not just here in the United States, but also worldwide. So I wonder if people are going to be comfortable with that. And number two, would you be comfortable with a full capacity before the end of the year? I mean, I know we've really gotten comfortable with the idea of like less crowded parks, and we like it selfishly. But to be crammed in again, I don't know.
I like her, like the way they say it, like aggressive but measured. Don't worry about it. Don't be scared.
We're gonna be responsible.
Aggressive, but measured. But I get it. They have to make profit. But again, they can't just do it just to do it to make money. They also need to be careful as they start doing it. Again, like more resorts are opening again, more restaurants are opening again. People are able to spread out a little bit more, because it wasn't like, a handful of restaurants open and everybody just stays at the park to eat. They, kind of move around now because they're able to like enjoy like the different resorts that are open. It's just, I don't know if I'm ready yet. I think that they're very what's the word I'm looking for? They're projecting this out, and they want it. Siri, be quiet. Anyway, but they're saying this stuff, but I hope that they also watch what's going on in the world, because right now in California, we're back into mask only indoors and stuff again because of the Delta variant. And I'm hoping that they also watch this, and they're not just opening just to open to make profits. I hope that they also watch with what's going on in Florida and how bad Florida is right now, that they also just keep mindful of it. Because I know they're really excited about October 1st, and they really want that profit, and they really want people to come in, and they really want to raise capacity. But they also need to watch out, because a lot of travelers are going to be coming, and they're going to be coming and going from the airport, and they're also going to be going back to their homes, and they also may be carrying it, and then it'll infect other people. So just be careful.
Yeah, we've also entered that whole new world of vaccinated people now carrying the virus and it being infected on top of things on top of that. So like we've entered this whole new realm where we went from it's okay, you can unmask, you'll be fine, to whoa, hold on, maybe not. And now we're hearing of these other variants happening around the world that could also be evasive to a vaccine. We're also hearing that now, and it's like, okay, well, things seem to change much like they have for the last year, week to week. Everything changes on a constant gliding scale. And so I know that Bob Chapek in the earnings call specifically said that he's not too worried about the Delta variant, that they're managing things the best way that they can, that reservations being kept capped are helping. And then on top of that, following the CDC guidance and making sure that indoors in Florida as well, because I know that they're following those rules too. The indoor mask wearing is mandated there in the theme parks. So there's that on top of it, but I know that we're heading a direction where you're right. It's the 50th anniversary. A lot of people want to be there, and we've also seen the reservations get refilled multiple times.
Kind of strange, don't you think?
Yeah.
And I don't think they're cleaning their ride vehicle. They've never cleaned the ride vehicles in Disneyland, but Disney World, they stopped doing that, right? In between.
They do it at night. That's it.
Yeah. So they stopped all that. So I really hope that they keep up with this, because again, like anything can change like tomorrow.
On a dime.
And so
seems to be the trend.
Yeah. Don't look at, I'm sure, it's Chapek we're talking about. So he looks at profit and stuff and like how you can fill the parks as fast as possible. But you should also look at people's welfare as well,
Absolutely.
Yep. For me, it's been disappointing, because I feel like in the beginning of all this, they were on top of it. They were always trying to do the right thing, cleaning so much, and even like they had all these special rules for their cast members and stuff of, switching gloves every single time they touch a different thing, or having to wear face masks, just different things like that. But to hear Chapek just come out and say, I'm not worried about Delta, it's just like, well, you should be, because you're running a multi-billion-dollar company that could crumble if
with parks all around the world.
Yeah,
yes.
Exactly. And so for him to say that is either he's an idiot or he's a bold-faced liar, to be honest. So, it's just disheartening to hear that, because they were at the forefront of like protecting people in the beginning of all this, and now they, like we talked about earlier in the show, now they're making now they've made $1 billion since last quarter, and they're like, hey, but money's good.
Yeah.
So that kind of sucks.
Yeah, well, we know as a $1 billion corporation, there are a lot of chefs in the kitchen, and hopefully they will be voices of reason around the CEO and making sure that the right decisions get made moving forward. I know that we haven't heard from the chief medical officer of the company. What was her name? Dr. Pam.
Yeah,
I haven't heard from Dr.
Pam.
Pam in a while. I'd be interested to hear what she thinks
What
about all
happened
of
to
this.
Dr. Pam? Just lock her back up in her room.
After
like,
her fight with Gavin Newsom, she disappeared. So I hope she's okay.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I hope that the Newsom, the California rage train of Gavin Newsom didn't get to her. But she was definitely the voice of we can do this responsibly for the longest time, and now we don't hear about her anymore. So Dr. Pam, reach out to us. Let us know if you need help. We'll come support you. But at any rate, that's your Walt Disney World news for this week. And let's keep the fun moving. It's time for Do It or Ditch It. Do It or Ditch It time, where we take a look at some of the best and perhaps some of the not so great attractions at Walt Disney World and Disneyland. This week in Walt Disney World, it is all about the Enchanted Tiki Room at Magic Kingdom Park. Yes, indeed. The Enchanted Tiki Room is one of those attractions that has long been a hallmark of the experience at the Disneyland show in its place in the long run. And so Magic Kingdom has been living with that show ever since, which is great. We did ask all of you, hey, what do you think when it comes to the Enchanted Tiki Room at Magic Kingdom and Walt Disney World? Because I think people feel very differently about the one at Disneyland versus the one at Disney World, based purely on the crowds that I see that go into these shows. So I feel like the Disneyland version is much beloved. The Walt Disney World version sort of feels like an afterthought to a lot of people because it's sort of tucked away in Adventureland. A lot of people walk right past it on the way to Pirates or Jungle Cruise, and they don't really think about it. But we asked you, what do you think? We reached out via a poll, and 69% of you, said it's a must-do for your Disney World vacation. 31% of you said, not really. It's not really worth your Disney World vacation time. This is something that whenever I'm out in Walt Disney World, whenever I'm out at the Magic Kingdom, I always go to. It is a part of my experience. I make sure that it's worth my time. Tyler, is it worth yours? Is it a do it?
100%. Definitely. 100%. Yes.
100%.
Yeah. I mean, I think that it is, as everything you were saying, I mean, it's a classic Disney attraction that was it was kind of brought up from just the very early days of Disney World. Excuse me. All of a sudden my voice is getting gravelly.
Oh,
it's Walt Disney.
It's Walt.
I know.
Spirit of Walt.
Well, I hope he's happy with me. So I think 100% do it. I mean, you've got the classic songs that are all just so freaking, like, they just dig right into your ears. They get right into your brain, and there's nothing you can do but just sing them all day long. And it's just so charming in, like, the fact that, like, you think about it, you're like, wow, this used to be what comedy is. Like,
You're right, yeah.
It's just it's just so corny and cheesy that it's not even, like, that great anymore in that regard. But, like, just kind of as a period piece in a lot of ways, it's just really fun to go back to and kind of listen to those things. I think, I don't want to be a downer here, but I feel like it's maybe one of those attractions that may need a little bit of an update at some point with kind of the way that things are going, with how, there are white guys doing kind of stereotypical impressions of people. And maybe that's a conversation we need to have down the road. But for now, I feel like I say 100% do it. It's very worth it. And you know what? For anybody that cares, I actually really liked the Under New Management show.
Did you?
I really thought it was. But I will say, I would not have liked it if it also came to Disneyland. I always knew that in Disneyland it was the original. Well, not the original, the kind of an updated version. But it was, very close to the original. And I was okay with them trying something new in World. And actually, I thought that the Iago like animatronic and like a Oa, they were, like, very impressive for the time. I really thought they were cool. And now we get to see a Oa in Trader Sam's Grotto. So I mean, it all comes full circle, and we all get to chant Oa all the time. Without Under New Management, I don't know if a Oa would ever have existed. So I think that's really cool. And yeah, do it. Don't ditch it. Do it.
Do it. And so when you think about these shows in particular, fortunately, it's an environment where you almost never have to truly wait unless it's just for the next show to start. And so they can usually accommodate everybody. There's very little wait time associated with it, which is why I love shows so much. We're going to jump out to Walt Disney World now, where our Florida reporter, Gared Hassel, standing by near the Enchanted Tiki Room. You tell us, buddy, is this a do it or a ditch it attraction for you?
Aloha, friends. It's definitely a do it. It's fun. I've even got the tiki shirt or tiki room shirt on.
Yeah.
And just like what you said, it's a short wait. So if I don't know, you got something else to do, or you're like, man, it's just so hot. Go in there, cool off. When Wade was out here last time, we were like, let's go hop on it. So we hopped in there, had a great time. It was a lovely show. And it's not a show I see every time because I live down here. But when I watched, I was like, this is so charming. This is just really enjoyable. I love it. It's cute. I love when the girls come down. They're a lot of fun. They're lovely. And then you have Gigi, and with the French accent, it's cheesy, it's corny, but it just has that Walt energy about it. So it's a definite do it. I love it. It's so cute. And plus, it adds such a personality to this land. You see this giant temple here, and you're like, I want to go in there. I want to explore that.
What is that temple?
And yeah, it's a temple. You got to worship at it, and then you just you go into it, you have a good time. Of course Disneyland's that's the original one, but this one here, it's a lot of fun. Plus you can get a Dole Whip right by, so definitely do it, people, and become friends with Jose and all the other guys, because they're a lovely bunch of feathers. They are.
That they are, and it seems so tropical where you are right now. What with the rain clouds, and the gods have been angered by all the celebrating, it looks like.
Yeah, they're celebrating in Florida, I guess. But that's Florida. We're always celebrating out here. We got fireworks. Maybe they're angered that happily ever after is going away, or maybe they're angry at the celebration towards the 15th anniversary. There's a lot of celebrating going on here at Walt Disney World, but we're having just an aloha time out here in Adventureland.
Very good.
Malikalikimaka, which is Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Thank you. A seasonal greeting to you here in the summer while we film this. Absolutely. And Katrina, this attraction in Magic Kingdom, like I said, often gets overlooked by people, whereas the one in Disneyland seems to be a place everybody stops for the most part throughout their day. Tell me, is this a do it or ditch it for you?
100% ditch it.
Whoa!
Oh!
Descent.
Oh my God.
Descent. Off he goes. Yeah, we're done here. Yeah.
Goodbye, people.
Whoa.
There we go. No, I don't like it. I like the original one at Disneyland, and I'll go do it. But again, I guess for me, it just takes up a lot of time in my day at Disney World.
Why do you hate birds?
They poop everywhere. It's just, I would rather just go to Pirates and stuff. If we had nothing to do, then okay, I would just go, I'm really overheated. Let's just go to air conditioning and sit down and watch a show. It's like Country Bears,
I'm distraught.
I know.
Not the same thing.
He's going to break up with me.
Wow. Yeah, I think this is the end of a
this is
relationship.
it. Here we go.
Country Bears as well?
She doesn't like Country Bears.
Are you ditching Country Bears as well?
Yes.
Oh. Honey, we need to talk.
Uh-oh. You're turning everyone against you right now.
I know. I guess I just don't want to waste my time with shows. I guess if we have nothing to do, because on those days we would have our fast passes, and I want to go boom, 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 boom. I want to get my fast passes done, then I want to go on this, and then I want to go do this, and then
no
at
fast
that
passes
point,
in Disney World.
Well, now there's not. So now I'm literally stuck in a line waiting for the ride that I want to do, and then there goes an hour, and then I don't want to wait for another 40 minutes to go do the Enchanted Tiki Room. I would rather just go wait in a Haunted Mansion at that point, or Peter Pan, so I can go through the queue, because it's amazing.
Yeah, but you walk up and it's a 12-minute show. Where's the 40 minutes coming from? I don't know.
It's 12 minutes. That's a lot. It's a lot. I could be wasting 12 minutes in line.
It's 40 minutes if you're a bird, because they're smaller. So
See, it's right.
Differently.
The time's different.
That's
for
right.
a
That
bird.
makes complete sense.
It makes complete sense. It's like when Ant-Man's running full force when he's shrunken, and he's taking forever. But when he's in human, it's
it's exactly the same thing.
I get it. I get it.
A bird's gonna poop on me, Katrina.
Yeah.
A bird's gonna poop on my head because of you.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'll do the Disneyland one any day, but that's because we like going to do those things. But I guess I don't know, it's just a lot of time for me. I know.
Well,
It's good seeing you guys. This is my last week here, so
31% of the audience apparently agrees with you, and they say that it's not really worth doing for their Disney World time. So,
I'd be eating at Skipper Canteen while you guys are there. Don't worry, I'll get the cheese balls.
Surprisingly, I mean, there's a much bigger percentage of people than I had anticipated that said in the poll that it's not worth their time. So we want to know. Now we turn it on over to you. Is this worth your Disney World vacation time? Again, we're not talking about the Disneyland one. We're talking about Magic Kingdom. Is the Enchanted Tiki Room something you stop to go experience? Let us know in the comment section down below. As always, looking forward to hearing your perspective. All right, my friends. Kingdom Report Live wraps up next.
Looking for some digital magic to help you through your week? The Kingdom Report is here for you, covering the latest Disneyland and Disney World news, experiences, and events. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Kingdom Report Live so you never miss an update. And drop a subscribe on the Kingdom Report YouTube channel for new videos every week. Don't miss out. Join this growing community of theme park fans as we aim to connect you to more of what makes you happy. For more information, visit KingdomReportLive.com. And now, back to the magic.
Well, as always, we appreciate you taking the time out of your weekend to be with us. If you happen to watch this after the fact, which we know so many of you end up watching this after the live broadcast, we want to thank you for tuning in and being a part of the show. We also want to say, if you're listening to the show after the fact, thank you so much for listening to the broadcast. And there's so many visuals, so many things in which to see, so we do encourage you to head over to that Kingdom Report YouTube channel and check out the visual product, because everything you hear often comes with things that you too will see that will help compensate for what you are hearing, and so it's always a multi-sensory experience, that's for sure. And we also want to say a big congratulations to Ty Evans, who was last week's winner of the Kingdom Report Live mug giveaway. You too can get your own Kingdom Report Live mug. All you got to do is leave the comment in this very video's comment section on our YouTube channel. So head on over to the Kingdom Report on YouTube, go beneath the live video after it officially posts, and leave the comment Disney Parks Magic. If you leave the comment Disney Parks Magic between now and Monday at 8 a.m. Pacific time, you will be entered to win yourself your very own Kingdom Report mug. We will randomly select the winner and reach out to you directly to say, hey, give us some information because you got a mug coming your way. We want to apologize again for all of the technical difficulties. If you were watching us live, we understand that the feed dropped in and out a couple of different times, and we're so sorry about that. But we certainly hope that it didn't detract from the overall content of the broadcast. We hope that you will tune in once again in the very near future and keep your eye on the Kingdom Report YouTube channel for vlogs and updates throughout the week. As always, keep in mind that the legacy of Walt Disney lives on because of people like you and me, and we will see you next Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific, for an all-new Kingdom Report Live.